Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Welcome to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It's Friday, October 7th,
It is.
and you're here with your faves, me, Azam Bailey, and of course,
I'm back.
Jade, Gwenny Gwenadita, CPL Matthew Stewart, Johnson, Pocahontas.
That's the vibe I was getting for
The
for Trinidad.
Pocahontas,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was
yeah.
watching myself like I look a little hippish today, you know.
Yeah. It's all about peace and love here on Island Tea.
You guys say pizza.
It should be all about pizza, actually.
Fred, are you hungry?
I am.
Aw, so
Yes.
early in the morning for this shenanigans.
Yeah. But guys, we're here and really looking forward to some conversation today.
Me too. I see a fave is back. One of my faves.
One
and
of your faves?
I don't mean Darren.
What Darren do you?
Nothing, but I don't see him all the time.
What Darren do? I don't know.
I don't see him all the time. They
The
say,
music.
say nothing. But yes, one of our faves from Trinidad is going to be joining us this morning.
Oh.
So I'm excited to hear what she has to tell us because it's always a good time when she joins us.
Indeed.
And of course, Darren is back for Cross Caribbean
Link up. What going on today?
I don't know.
Mm.
The words.
Yeah. But before we even jump into that, I have a special shout out.
Oh, you do?
Today is one of the biggest sippers' birthdays.
Okay. Who
My
birthday
sister, Kezia.
Happy birthday, Kezia.
Happy birthday, Kezia. Hope you have a great day.
I do as well.
And of course she starts it off with Island Tea, so it's gonna be fine.
Yes, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like our friends over in Antigua are ready for us. So let's see if we can get.
Yeah, let us start talking and we'll be here to waiting.
Good morning.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm hearing you, not seeing you, but I'm hearing you.
Oh, let me fix that. My
Yes.
bad.
Please and thank you.
Oh,
And
see all this attitude, you see what I mean?
That our special guest this morning is none other than Rhoda Barat from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Always a pleasure to be joined by her. Just to give a little background, she's a current affairs analyst. She's the power behind the news and social media platform News Source in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And she's also a lecturer on academic literacies at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. Rhoda, good morning.
Hi, morning, everybody. Let me know if you're hearing me clearly. Are you hearing me clearly?
Good morning, loud and clear. Good morning.
Good. Jade, how are you doing, my darling?
I am fine. How are you?
This.
I am well. You look lovely as ever.
Watch this now.
Darren, don't get in between.
Two women are showing love to each other, right?
And
They're
here.
showing positivity,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Support,
Mhm.
right? Gratitude for having each other in each other's lives.
Indeed.
Yes.
And two men bite up about it. I mean, like, what is
Well, I don't know if one of the men biting up.
I know better.
One of them definitely is, but the other one,
Jade, you know me, you know.
yeah, I don't feel like
You know
that
me.
the title fits you. I don't feel
Yes,
like,
indeed.
yes.
Oh, dear. Dear.
Darren, did you get a haircut or something?
morning? How was it the last time I was here? I can't remember, you know.
Well, I remember. I was just here telling Azim about the story you told me about the minister and his wife.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, the porn story.
Yes. Oh, yeah, there was a porn part. I forget to tell you about it.
How you forget about?
Sorry, my bad.
Oh.
Yes.
So between then and now, I may have cut the hair, but it's actually due for a haircut again because I'm wearing it low these days. So this is, I don't know if you all know that we had a weather pattern over Trinidad, right? So
Yeah.
I was outside scrubbing the yard. Darren had asked me, I think Darren is last night, he asked me, right? If I could do the
Yesterday afternoon. No, this morning.
Right. Darren asked me this morning, and I said, yeah, sure, no problem. Because my whole plan was I would just run inside from what is I was doing outside, do the show, and go back outside. So I am here in my yard clothes, here on Combadori. I wash my face, I brush my teeth. So I was outside scrubbing down the yard from all of the water and everything that we had dealt up with in the last 2 days.
Is it still raining?
No, it stopped raining, thank goodness. Listen, I was outside asking the universe, please, 3 days of hot sun. That is what we need right now. 3 days of hot sun to dry up all of the water, not just at the surface level. You want the water that's logged in the soil to be dried as well, because of course, one of my concerns would be landslips, you know. there are parts of Trinidad, Darren, you would know this because you visited here. There are parts of Trinidad and parts of Tobago that are quite hilly, right? I don't want to say mountainous because we'll be kind of overdoing it if we say mountainous. But we have a mountain range and then we have lots of other hilly areas. And there are communities, rural communities in those hilly areas. And the landslips can pretty much have them locked in to their community if their landslips. So I really don't want any more rain because that weather system, it wasn't a storm, it wasn't a hurricane, it was just a weather system hovering over the island for about 48 hours. And the quantities of rain that brought was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, I saw some videos of cars being washed away.
Yeah.
I saw one fella
crazy.
trying to hold on to a building and the water just swept him away. Apparently he was rescued.
He was rescued.
Okay.
He was rescued because the water then pulled him through a yard and there were some coconut trees in the yard and he was able, I think, to hold on to one of the coconut trees, or somebody was close to that tree and they were able to grab him.
Wow.
So
That
the
is
tree,
insane.
The tree stopped him, right? The tree stopped him and the person was then able to go and grab him and save him. But there's a lady from the village of Lopino, and again, Lopino is one of those communities that is nestled within the foothills of the Northern Range. So it's, mountains, valleys, mountains, valleys, mountains, valleys. She tried to save relatives who were in floodwaters and she has gone missing.
Oh no.
Oh Lord.
So the suspicion is that she was pulled by the river into a larger river system and may well have succumbed and may actually be may have been pulled all the way out to sea. So we have their team of people referred to as the hunter search and rescue team. They do a lot of work with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service here, where they go looking for people who are missing, especially in forested areas or remote areas, because many of them are, hunters and bushmen and stuff, and fishermen. So they're hunters, bushmen, fishermen. And so they have been searching for her along the waterways. So there have been a lot of footage they have shared of them walking through river systems looking for her body. So they went to the river system where she would have disappeared and then started following that river system to see where her body, where either she alive or her body might be. So it's been a hectic 2 days. There are communities that I have never seen been underwater. When I say, because I don't want to give the impression that flooding is not something that happens here during the rainy season. Flooding happens during the rainy season. If you have a lot of water trying to get through limited drainage systems, obviously you'll have some flooding. So you'll have water backing up on some streets or backing up in some areas. But of course, within an hour or two of the water backing up, the water will go back down. But there's some developed communities where you are seeing water 3, 4, 5, 6 feet high, like up on people's walls. Darren, you saw the videos that I shared.
Yes.
And in one of those communities, which would be Trin City, the Tacarigua Trin City area, I lived there back in my 20s. And I know that there would be some flooding. So but flooding that your car could actually pass through. I saw flooding this week where the water was clearly in people's homes and covering furniture and appliances. So I messaged friends of mine who live in those communities and I'm like, you all okay? And they're like, yeah, we all right for now. I said, but is this normal flooding? And they're like, no, this isn't normal flooding at all. We've not ever seen the community get this kind of water. And I am there thinking, this is just from 2 days because the rains started. Today is Friday, so Tuesday night. Okay. Tuesday night would have been when the rains started, right? And it rained all of Tuesday night, obviously all of Wednesday, and it stopped raining like around half day yesterday, like by around Thursday, midday, Thursday afternoon, because I was able to go out in the afternoon and take a walk. But that 2 days of rain, so let's say from Tuesday midnight to Thursday afternoon, let's call that 2 days, that 48 hours of rain.
It's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rain.
Yep. And of course you have to take into consideration things like the tide, right? If it's high tide, I have to say thank goodness it was not full moon, because if it was full moon, heavy rain, high tide, I might not be here giving you this update, Darren.
At the risk of just a slight hyperbole. Yeah.
And I don't live far from a river, like two
Hmm.
minutes walk, if so much as 2 minutes, actually less than 2 minutes. A minute walk must be 30 seconds to 45 seconds.
Okay.
There is a river. Yeah, there's a river right next. I'm not too far from the sea. I am not too far from the sea at all. If there is ever a tsunami, if a tsunami hits Trinidad,
You're in trouble.
yes, I can't stay where I am. I have to evacuate, right?
Yeah.
So the river up the road from me, a couple times I walked up the road just to check to see what were the levels in the river, because some rivers here have sensors and some don't. And the river by me does not have a sensor. But there are the other major rivers, they have sensors. So that way the Met Office and local government and the Office of Disaster Preparedness, they will know how close the river is to breaking its banks, because once those rivers break their banks, it means flooding. You know it's going to have flooding, especially in riverine areas. So the river by me doesn't have those sensors, but it's a major river for the town of Diego Martin. So I said, let me go and check to see what is going on. So I went once or twice during the day just to keep an eye on the levels. But because it wasn't full moon, because when it's full moon, the water levels, the sea levels is be pretty high. And the sea is far from where I am. But because it wasn't full moon, the water was for the most part flowing, right? Flowing.
Okay.
But the water, I mean, the kind of rain that was taking place up in the mountains, it was heavy rains. And then of course, the entire island was covered by this weather system. So it was pretty interesting. And then of course, the country is angry, and rightfully so. I should say certainly parents and students are angry, and rightfully so. This weather system, we would have known the weather system was coming in, right? It's not that we didn't know the weather system was coming in. And we had a sense of the kinds of rains that it would bring. Children went to school on the Wednesday, and pretty early, like by about half day, early afternoon on the Wednesday, they had to be let out of school and sent back home because of how much rain. And because, of course, it's not just the rains, it's the fact that with the rains come flooding. And some of the communities, as we just discussed, are rural communities in low-lying areas. So you have to take into consideration, if these children need to get home, they need to leave school by a particular time to get transportation, to be able to get back to their community, so that they're not
stranded.
They're not stranded, right? So the children are sent back home. Principals take decisions and end school in communities like that. Rest of Wednesday, everybody's waiting to hear, well, is the Ministry of Education going to say that there's officially no school on the Thursday? And they wait, and they wait, and they wait. And 7 o'clock Thursday morning, school's supposed to start at 8, right? 7 o'clock Thursday morning is when an announcement is finally made. And people are livid, because they're like, okay, you could have said this to us last night, because we were, people would have been checking all of the social media platforms, the Ministry of Education. Even if the ministry had put up a notice, say after midnight, people would have gotten up and checked the ministry website, Facebook pages and website first thing the Thursday morning to see, well, okay, what we doing? Are we taking the children to school or not taking the children to school? So there were children whose parents sent them off to school.
Yes. Or were already on their way to school in traffic.
Children on their way to school. There were children whose parents had sent them to school. Of course, there were children whose parents decided, me and sending earlier, nowhere. and those would have been parents who would have, they would have done their own critical thinking and made a decision.
Right.
But there are other parents, and we need to remember that there are people who wait for instructions, and the instructions came late. So, boy, social media had a time with them yesterday. Had a time. They get properly well roasted on social media. And one of the ministers,
I can imagine,
of education, put up a post. It was a most unfortunate post. She put up a post saying, well, all you big and all you have sense. So basically to say, all you could make a common sense decision for yourself. You only had to wait for us to tell all your things. All you big and all you have sense. Well, boy, woohoo.
That's the worst thing she would have said.
Well, let's see a junior minister being dragged past all the radio station right now. No, it's still that minister. Because the roasting that she get on social media yesterday, I feeling the burn for her. So yes, it's been an interesting 2 days, but today, thankfully, no rain. It's back to sunshine outside, and I'm hoping that it remains that way until at least Sunday, because we're still in October. We have 2 more months of rainy season to go still, right? Because we have until November. The end of November is when it officially ends. So hopefully a couple of days of hot sun so that we could kind of dry up all of this excess water around the place and then get right back ready for more rain. So that's my story. That's why I am in my house dress and my hair ain't comb and it needs cutting jade. So hopefully I find some time today to go out and get it trimmed.
No, I think you should, based on what you just said, I feel like you should just leave it alone. I think you have bigger worries than a haircut right now.
Yeah. So, anyways, outside of that, by the way, just very quickly before we move off of I guess it's fair to say historic levels of flooding. You have creatures in these rivers, right? Like boa constrictors and caiman and so on, that kind of thing.
Remember, technically, 50,000 years ago, we were part of the mainland. So our topography is very much the topography of the rainforest of South America. So yes, we have boa constrictors. We have 4 types of toxic snakes. Poison snakes. We have capybaras. What else?
What's that?
I think it's like a duppy or something.
Yeah. The wildlife here very
very diverse.
What?
We're talking about Australia. We're talking about Trinidad because I'm so confused.
We're talking about Trinidad, Jade. If and when you ever reach Trinidad,
no, thank you.
Yes, Jade, experience a Jade.
Experience a boa constrictor.
Jade, I will take you to somewhere where it's nice and safe. I'll take you to the zoo, right? So you can see the range of wildlife that exists out in the bush. I wouldn't carry out any bush. I mean, I could.
No, I wouldn't.
All right. But
They'd live a little.
No, it's okay. What a living for me.
If you want to go to any bush, we will go out in the bush. But if not, I will take you to the zoo just for you to see the range of animals here. We have, because of where we're located, our flora and fauna is not like the rest of the Caribbean.
Yeah. I agree, and if it's one thing that I remember distinctively, the bird life. Oh, the bird life in Trinidad is amazing. The sounds, the colors, it's out of this world.
You see, I could do a bird. I don't mind birds.
Yeah.
One of the first times you all had interviewed me, I was in Toko. You all had called, and we were doing a phone interview, and the birds was, there was so much birds.
You could hear them.
Yeah. Struggling to be heard over all of the birds in the background. But yes, we have a wide range of birds, so that's why we have been for years one of the islands in the Caribbean that people come to for bird watching. Okay. So we get a lot of persons coming here just for the purpose of bird watching. There's some eco lodges. The whole existence of the eco lodge is based on that. So people just come in to sit down in an elevated space to be able to look at birds.
Yeah. The reason why I asked though was, as you're speaking about this lady who was swept in this river system and is likely it's going to be difficult to find, I'm just thinking, I don't know, something might have got to her before the divers or the defense force people.
Given the power of the water and the currents and stuff yesterday, if she fell into the water, I don't think that animals would have had an opportunity to get to her.
Okay.
The other thing too is this: when it's raining like that, and when the water fires are as bad as that. The animals also take shelter. When you when you are out in the forest, you always know when serious rain coming versus a drizzle. If a drizzle is coming, the animals you continue to hear them. You continue to hear the chirping of birds and the insects. When serious rain coming, it goes silent. The entire forest just goes silent, and that's when you know, okay, the clouds are heading in this direction. That's serious rain. It's not jokey rain at all.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Trinidad raindrops kind of different to the raindrops we get here. I can say that much.
Sounds that way.
You
Sounds
feel
that way
as though
for
it's
sure.
gonna broke out your windscreen. That's how big the drops are. They're huge. Well, that's been my experience.
The first time, you know, we always hear people talking about rain in temperate places like say the United Kingdom, right?
Right.
I've been to the United Kingdom, and their rain is persistent, like it don't stop. You feel it's just days and days and days of rain, but it's this kind of fine drizzle that comes down for days. Here, when a shower of rain comes down, Jade, you feel like somebody has just stood up in the sky and poured a bucket. That's how it feels, because it's like a heavy downpour. The drops are huge, and it just feels like it's a lot of water at once. And then after that, after a couple hours, it clears up. That's it. It's done.
Right. Gotcha.
Wow.
Jade and Azam, I must ask our special guest, because I know her. Your time is limited. How much more time you have, Rhoda, with us?
Well,
Rhoda,
we can talk a little bit, but I need to by 8:45. I need to wrap up and go back to get started.
Yeah. Totally understand. Dr. Keith Rowley had some words for, was it Kamala? Or some other functionary of the...
oh dear, you just can't let Rhoda leave without any mix-up. You just had to ask her.
Why y'all love to trouble Rowley? Y'all know how the man stop already. What's up?
My yard, let me from my yard. Darren?
Yes, ma'am.
We have just had the reading of a budget here, and you know, Trinidad and Tobago's politics is never low-key politics. So the reading of a budget, which to me in other countries is just be a very normal thing. You read the budget, you say these are what the measures are. The opposition might get up and say what is they need to say about the measures, and then that is that. It's never ever that simple and commonplace in Trinidad. So there was the reading of the budget. There were, by my count, 15 fiscal measures would have been introduced by the government as policy. And one of those measures caused a lot of noise here. That the fuel subsidy would have been further reduced. You all know that our fuel here is subsidized, right? So the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago don't pay the price at the pump that the fuel actually costs. Yes? Right. And Trinidadians...
That is a Trini. Y'all think it's a birth, right? So y'all be... Carry on, tell your story.
I'll tell the story. So gas has been subsidized here for several decades. I think about certainly from the 70s, right? So we're looking at least 4 to 5 decades of subsidy with respect to fuel. But since 2016, 2017, thereabouts, we have begun to gradually reduce the subsidy. There's more reduction on premium gas and super gas, but not as much reduction of the subsidy on diesel, because if we make the price of diesel too high, then it means that the prices of other things will go up exponentially. So in this budget, as has happened in previous budgets, there was a further reduction of the subsidy. That reduction of the subsidy was actually signaled by the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance sometime in July of this year. But of course, media and opposition made a huge deal about it. But the problem is, Darren, that the Prime Minister and several other ministers thereafter made some comments in defense of the removal of the fuel subsidy that came across as quite tone deaf and offensive to the population. So we have massive traffic here when it is peak hours. Azam, have you ever been to Trinidad?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So yeah, the traffic does. Yeah, it's an issue.
I'm glad that you could say it so nice. There are people who easily spend 4 hours of their day, sometimes 6 hours of their day, just sitting in traffic, getting to work and from work, right? So 2 hours to get to work, 2 hours to get home from work. And if it's a day like Wednesday and Thursday where you had rains and stuff, it could easily take you 3 to 4 hours just to get home from work in rain with along with the traffic, right? So of course, right after the budget is read, media comes and they ask the prime minister, his thoughts on the budget. He gives his thoughts on the budget. They raise a question about the fuel price and what it will mean for people who are commuting. And the prime minister makes a very offhand, off the cuff remark about people needing to think more creatively. And that stirred up a lot of anger in the population. Because of course it comes across as tone deaf. People who getting up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning just to get to work for 8 a.m. on time. They don't want to hear anything about think creatively. And of course, he was asked things about work from home policies, and the responses were offhand. So that was one thing. And then later on in the week, another member of parliament on the government side in the budget debate got up and was talking and suggested to people that if they feel that the price of gas is too high, what they need to do is start using coal pots and ride bicycles.
I did see that one. I did.
Wow.
I saw that Trinidadians were pissed.
He has been memed into the next universe.
Yep, literally was.
People make song about it, they make meme about it, all kind of thing has happened since then, right? It's all somebody do a fake news report, a whole fake news report about bicycles and coal pot, and don't light your coal pot indoor even in all of this rain because it means that you will burn down your home. Listen, and it's sounding like an official news report, eh?
Wow.
So
Caribbean people make entertainment out of everything.
from anywhere in the world, anywhere else in the world, because we just entertain ourselves.
Yes.
There were a couple other ministers who said some things that came across as quite disconnected from people's realities, and that is probably what you would have heard the prime minister responding to, because he did his response to the budget.
Mm-hmm.
He would have spoken about the fuel subsidy in his response to the budget, and he pointed out that the fuel subsidy was actually supposed to have been reduced, right?
Mm-hmm.
The price of fuel ideally ought to have gotten higher under the previous administration, but they didn't want to have to deal up with the political fallout of that. So they didn't touch it at all.
Mm-hmm.
They left it alone. And then when Dr. Rowley's party formed the government, they then chose to tackle it, because if you don't tackle it, it means every year about $2 to $3 billion in revenue gets swallowed up by this fuel subsidy. And that $2 to $3 billion in revenue could easily be going to many other areas. Say flood relief.
Yeah. by way of example. Yeah. Yeah. Rhoda, you always have a way of putting the news in such a way that, oh my Lord, you're one of a kind, for sure.
Thank you. But I guess for me, everything does just seem like a story, right? A story that people need to hear. And I know Caribbean people like stories.
Yes, we do.
We love to hear the recounting of a story. So, folks, if I do, I need to run off and go and finish scrub the yard and get ready for a 9 o'clock class. So you all take care.
Yes. But this is virtual, right?
Yeah, the class is virtual. So you forget to say this. It was secondary and primary schools that were waiting on the Ministry of Education to take a decision. But with UW, I took a decision on the Wednesday because your girl pick up goodly self, shower, change clothes, eat breakfast, feed dog, all kind of thing, reach down in the people walk, and me ain't teach a class yet. You're reaching the people walk 9 o'clock the Wednesday morning. And if you see rain, if you see water, students can't get to class. Students by one building need to get to our next building, the strand. If you see water on that campus.
Can't imagine.
Water was running like in waves off the grass and off the quadrangle. And so what
So
they
I saw
even
videos. It was crazy.
it was crazy. So what they eventually had, the building that I am in is a ground floor to a 4-story, is sorry, 3-story building, right? So the ground floor to a 3-story building. And there is a drainage system, a very efficient drainage system that runs by and also runs under the building, right? To channel water off the campus. The volume of water was so massive that water rose up through the drains and was coming into the building. So the ground floor of my building, people had to evacuate their offices by about 10:30 that morning because of the rain. So everything that you had on the ground, like UPSs and all that kind of, that had to come up and sit on desks, and we had to move chairs up onto desks because of the volume of water. It really was something to see this week, you know. So UE went virtual for 2 days, all day yesterday and all day today. So I have classes to teach virtually in a couple minutes.
And so therefore we will not cause you to be late. If you are late by any chance, you can always say that you did a regional link up with your friends in Antigua who say hello, and your friends in St. Kitts, Antigua Barbuda, sorry, and St. Kitts Nevis who say hello as well.
What I will do is share screen so they could see.
No problem, no problem. Current Affairs analyst via her social media platform News Source. Check it out. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Rhoda Barat, thank you so much. And of course, you just heard she's going to be lecturing in a few minutes. She's a lecturer on academic literacies at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus, which was recently inundated with floodwaters. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, it's now, Jade and Azem, y'all not going nowhere. I need to ask you all about this dog story, story, yeah. Hold on, let me pull it up. Jade, what happened?
Nothing.
Okay, well, you look surprised. Yeah, occupational hazard. I try, I don't always succeed, but I do try to pay attention to what's taking place throughout our region. And certainly a story that caught my attention was a dog attack that ended in the death of a young child. And I'm going to read a comment or post. I don't know do you see the post by your Attorney General?
Yes, I didn't get to read through it, but I saw that he posted something yesterday.
Yes, my good friend Mr. Garth Wilkin. As a father of 2 children, it sickened me to hear of the death of a young child in Nevis by a dog attack. My thoughts and prayers are with the child's family. This is truly a national tragedy. All of us must do what we can to ensure this type of tragedy is not repeated. I have confirmed that this horrible incident is being investigated by the police. The Dogs Licensing and Control Act governs the licensing and control of dogs, particularly dangerous dogs. And then he went into a few sections of the act, and basically securing a dog, injury or death by a dog, killer dogs and civil liability of the owner, prohibition on importation, prohibition on ownership, obligation to secure premises, and then he ends it with a list of dangerous dogs. So, Mr. Wilkin, your Attorney General, yeah, I think the owner of that dog is there's going to be an issue, I suspect. Azem, what happened, Azem? What are y'all thinking?
Nothing.
No,
Wait,
I mean,
two of you have looks on your faces. What?
No.
Did I say something wrong? Did I say something that was tone deaf, like our friend down in Trinidad?
no, I mean, I think the thing that everyone could agree with is the fact that this is such a very sad and unfortunate situation. And of course, prayers and condolences to the family but everyone kind of, because it's such a terrible situation, everybody tries to figure out now what can we do to avoid it happening in the future, what steps should be taken in this particular case. And the truth is that the details of the story are still a bit difficult. I don't even know if there was anyone who witnessed what happened, or know exactly what took place. So it's so difficult because you don't have the answers that you need to figure out liability or even what
A
happened
solution,
to try
yeah.
and prevent it in the future. So it's just a very frustrating situation for everyone and yeah.
How old was this child? Sorry.
I think
The report said
three,
three
yeah.
years 3 years old.
My God. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Those parents must be torn up.
Yeah, and not even that. I think even the entire community.
Yep.
I think it's something like this. You hear this and it cuts deep. It cuts deep and yeah. We've been having some of these types of the news coming forth and
It's just been a chaotic week.
yeah, chaotic, traumatic.
I
Yeah.
don't know what happened this week, but this week in saying it has been a lot.
Yeah, all sorts of stories.
Yeah, but
For some reason, the only one that stands out, at least from my end, is this particular story of the attack.
oh,
of
Oh,
the
yeah.
organized-
you must have missed the rest.
No, but
I did miss the rest. So tell me, bring me up to date quick.
Well,
before our time
there was
is up.
there was a fatal stabbing that happened this week as well. One young lady stabbed another young lady.
Yeah. It's just a lot of these
Fight
little.
over what was that fight about? Do you know?
I don't have any details on what the fight was about.
But
in
they
that
seem
way
to
for
have
me
been they seem to have been close at one point at least.
Oh
But
boy.
yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. You're hearing about these types of situations, and again the question is always, okay, firstly, like, who is responsible, and then how could we avoid these situations? But without some of the details, it becomes hard to answer those questions.
Has the dog been put down?
Well, I think the police actually destroyed it. From the reports that I
Destroyed
read,
it. That sound different to put down.
That's literally the words they use.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Well, that's standard operating procedure, I think, under those circumstances. That's normally what happens. I think that happens here too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the word destroyed.
No, that's the word they use, friend.
Wow. Okay.
But before we go, I know we're running out of time. I saw something very interesting from your island, and it was the fact that the government wiped off Apu and the hospital debts owed by residents.
Depending on who you ask.
There's always a
That's
depending
my
on who you
standard
ask.
response. That's
There's
my standard.
always a depending on who you ask.
Yeah,
There's
depending on who you
always-
ask. Yeah. Well, I mean, the administration's position is, at least based how the language was couched in the cabinet note, is that, the COVID-19 pandemic has had an impact financially on households. And so there are folks who are still struggling with their APUA bills. That's the public utility. And of course, the hospital bills and so on. So folks can't pay. And so, of course, the government is saying, well, look, as a kind and caring government, we are going to provide relief in these ways. Essentially, I'm surmising. The opposition and those who are perhaps annoyed with the administration is going to say, well, look, this is pure politics. Elections are around the corner, right? And so this is just another political gimmick. And so they're just simply trying to curry favor with as many people as they possibly can for those who are still, persuadable by doing this. And the UPP, their PRO was on this morning, and he made it clear that he's not particularly impressed. And his position is that the government should do more to help these people out of their situation in poverty by providing economic opportunities and increasing wages, because the government has been talking about increasing the minimum wage for some time now, and nothing has been done. And so his argument is that is where you need to address the problem, because you're going to give them amnesty or relief or whatever, and then come again another, couple of years or a couple of months for that matter, they're going to be in the same position where they accumulate arrears with APUA and wherever else. And so where will it stop? And so his thing is the government's approach is wrong. It's like a Band-Aid. They're not dealing with the source of the problem. So that's the conversation that's being had about that.
I wonder if they were to take the advice, if it would be classified as...
Yes.
Okay.
Anything...
Now I was saying if the government were to take the advice...
Of the opposition?
Of the opposition, if it would be interpreted as political posturing and trying to curry favor.
Anything happening in this time before election that is deemed to be
Imagine that,
good, it
Imagine
will come off as political.
It's going to come off as political. Listen, just the fact,
But
I
the
mean,
politicians.
the leader of the opposition may have, I don't know, I wasn't there. I am not going to speak.
Take yourself
as
out
though I
there.
was there.
Take yourself
What's
out
that?
there. I said, take yourself out there, man.
Yeah. But based on the image that was shared on social media by the Prime Minister, no less, and a few other people posted it or reshared it or whatever, he was caught. Well, if you look at the picture, you might conclude he was napping. The opposition PRO said that he might have been taking a moment, perhaps reflecting, and so his head was back and so on. I mean, it's not. This.
What happened if he's napping though?
What's that?
He can't be tired.
At a function, well, exactly. He can be tired. I mean, I'm sure they've been on a road show, essentially visiting members of the diaspora. Traveling is exhausting. He could have been very well tired. He could have been taking a moment. That's fine. And so, but just the fact that I asked the question is a problem. The parties don't like when you ask them questions that might be perceived to be uncomfortable. Anything that shows them in a light that may be less than favorable in anybody's mind, they're going to come at you. So if I asked that question this morning, so therefore I'm a lackey for Gaston. If I ask what's his name, a minister of government next month, well, hopefully Monday, to ask them to explain this agreement with Jolly Beach, which, we have some questions about them. Did the businessman get concessions that were unfair? My friends in the Labour Party will say, oh, I'm doing the work of the UPP. And that's okay. They listen, and that's what's important. I'm not going to lose sleep over them because guess what? I don't live with them. They don't help pay my bills. And so therefore, I'm just simply doing my job. Everybody get the brush. So I'm saying that to say, based on what you just said, because we're leading up to the election, everybody is sensitive.
Yeah.
And everything that is said is going to be seen through a political lens.
Darren, I want to believe you're equal opportunity offender. Okay?
Yeah.
And then
that is clearly the case. And that's fine. And that's why they keep listening. And I love them all because they keep listening.
Exactly. And stop being so sensitive. It's politics. Jesus Christ, man.
But except that I'm not the politician.
Exactly. So I don't mean you.
Okay.
I mean them. They need to recognize this is the job that they chose. This is the position that they're in. It comes with a lot. You can't be sensitive over everything. You're going to set up your pressure.
Well, that's my feeling too. And so sometimes, but I think people ask me from time to time, how do I deal with it? I say, I just don't take it personally. I know right now is a highly sensitive time. People are highly charged. People are jostling.
Silly season, man.
So it is silly season. And so people are just going to, people are going to do what people are going to do. And that's okay. Not a problem.
I was about to ask you, how is the climate? How is the climate over there now? That it seems like election is a lot closer, but I could already tell it's okay.
Yeah, you get an idea. People are on edge, and the opposition they call the election now. They just want the election called.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know that feeling. We know that feeling all too well. Just call election and get over.
Though, as I've said, you see, he hasn't called the date yet.
Yeah.
You see, he hasn't called the date yet. Yeah. I called it. There are too many things outstanding. He gonna want to solve the Liat story. He gonna want to solve the Jolly Beach story. The water situation is still a problem. I think perhaps less so. The UPP didn't mention water this morning, which is interesting, and it wasn't in the cabinet notes this week, at least not that I recall. So I don't know if maybe more people are getting water more often. So that issue, no. Somebody said no. The technical director said no.
Technical director, like he ain't in the list. He ain't in the list of people getting more water.
Right. So,
but Darren, quickly though,
he has issues to solve.
We read an article here regarding
Liat deal.
A late deal that was signed with a young Chinese entrepreneur or investor. Has that sparked any conversation in Antigua?
Repeat that. Quick.
No, I said we actually read an article where the government entered into a deal of some sort with a Chinese investor and Chinese company in Liat. Yes.
There was an MOU we've heard of MOUs before.
Yes.
MOUs, you know how MOUs can go.
Yeah.
They can be window dressing, and they can be something that will lead to something more substantial. Time will tell.
Okay.
Because that same MOU and that same conversation included some talk about A330s and A320s.
Yeah,
and
a few
those are
aircraft.
wide-body aircraft.
Yeah, a few
And
aircraft.
if we can hardly manage ATRs, I don't know how we're gonna manage an A330. But anyway, Jade, something going on in the studio. My technical director says he saw something strange on the screen. What's going on? Oh Lord, as I'm laughing. Tell us, confession time. Quick, fast, sharp, and in a hurry. What happened?
The sky is falling.
The sky is falling and we are indoors. That's what's
the sky is
Oh, I see. Okay. As in rain?
No,
No.
as in other particles.
We have to go do an examination after during the break.
Very well. and on that note, because they're cracking up here in the studio. You can't see them. You can see me, but yeah. Anyway, listen, folks, have a good one.
You
Be
as
safe.
well.
And have a wonderful weekend, and we'll do this. Of course, we always have fun with Rhoda. Rhoda is just amazing.
Indeed.
With her storytelling, the news. And so you can always check her out at News Source on Facebook and on YouTube. Have a wonderful weekend, Jade and Azam.
You as
You
well.
do the same, and same to your listeners.
And to all my brothers and sisters over in St. Kitts.
Indeed.
All right. It is now 4 minutes.
Azam, I think it's break time.
It is break time,
Yes,
Jane.
let us just take a very quick break and be right back with more Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. Stick and stay.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IG Value Club Blue Tax Special.
Running October 6 to the 29th.
Dole fruit bowls, just $12.49 each. Chobani Greek yogurt, $5.69. Hot Pockets, $13.99 each. Bigelow teas, just $9.99. Gain dish detergent, $8.49. Pure Bar tissue, $19.99 each. And now our very low weekly.
Value deals. Betty Crocker cake mixes $6.99. IG or essential everyday quick and regular odds $11.49. Hunt's ketchup $4.99. Equaline mouthwash $14.99. Kraft mayonnaise $18.99. Hefty slider storage bag $10.49. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
The views and opinions expressed in this program were solely those of the participant or caller and do not reflect the views of WinFM 98.9. WinFM reserves the right to disconnect any caller who infringes the law or offends the right of any person. The station will also refuse to take any call from any person who in WinFM's considered opinion is likely to expose the station to liability for statements made on the air.
Hey guys, welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. It is Friday, October 7th, my sister's birthday.
Yes, it is.
And yeah, we just had Caribbean link up with our friends Zane and Tiga, and of course Rhoda from Trinidad.
Of course.
Always a pleasure. Always good times. Jade, as we were saying earlier, at first I was thinking, because I do the show and kind of have to discuss things that are happening. In particular, this week has just been like a lot, right?
Oh my gosh,
It's gotten to the point where if by 6 o'clock I haven't gotten the forward videos or screenshots or whatever, I cross my fingers and hope to make it to the next day. It has never happened.
Has not happened. I don't.
Multiple things.
Yeah, I was too busy this week. Yeah, I needed to find something to do.
Yesterday I was hoping. I said, okay, look, it's been a rough one.
It is. It has.
Nothing today. Oh, fail.
That was my bad again, no?
Fail.
Well, no, you say it before me. I sent it, so.
Well, Jade, let me tell you something. Quickly.
Yes.
Quickly. Because this ain't even a news item. This is just something that I sure is weighing heavy on a lot of people's chest. Right? Stop whining on people. I don't know what is happening. When I was younger, Jade, when I was younger, very young, I used to spend a lot of time in a particular village, and across from where I would stay, there was this couple that had serious problems.
Oh, it sounds like my childhood boy, but continue.
And unfortunately, one of the ways that they would handle their problems was to get into these physical altercations with each other.
Same.
And I remember being a young boy and watching across from the landing at the arms flailing and clothes ripping off and people running around the yard and thinking to myself, what could have possibly happened
for you to get to this point?
To get to this point, right? Because it is such unacceptable behavior, Jade. It is so unacceptable. Yesterday, I got these videos, and the thing is, the videos came with a disclaimer, right? The videos came.
If you have to forward one, I traumatized all my friends. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I know you're listening. I'm so sorry.
It came with a disclaimer from. It was actually a avid listener, and he apologized. He said, "Look, boss, I don't like to forward these things, but you have a platform, and I saw this, and you have it chill." He actually, the words he used was he actually call up my meds.
Yeah.
And I understood exactly what he meant
Completely.
after having saw the video. There's a video of an altercation between two young people, and this is the thing that
I don't know if it was an altercation, but
altercation
I feel like means multiple people fighting.
Well, whatever it was. There was blows being landed on a young lady by a young man. And Jade, by like, he rip up my inside, Jade.
Mine too, trust me. That the things that went through my head, right? Like the thing, I can't say them on the radio, but the things that went through my head when I saw that, no.
Jade, I don't know what is happening. And the thing is, I remember when I was younger, this would happen, and then it got to a point where it felt as though less and less of this was happening, right? Less and less of this was happening. But I don't know if it's just that now we have more cameras or what it is, but it feels as though we're getting the pendulum swinging back in the next direction, where domestic violence against people who you claim to care about becoming more and more prevalent. And it's nasty. I don't know what is going on. And in this particular, because it's young people, it almost feels like, Jade, nobody, no school going person supposed to be dealing with these kind of things, Jade.
None at all.
Nobody at all, but I mean in particular, Jade, you're a young person.
You know what this month be?
What this month is?
Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Well, they're making us very aware of domestic violence, Jade. We have become very aware of it.
Quite. Listen, what a school for them children who need a little more help than others over in the country.
I don't know what they call it. They call it what? It used to be the Harris home. I don't know.
Park him up over there.
Might be too old. I don't know.
He might be too young for jail, but he might just be around the age of that place where he may need get some help, because as a young man, the actions were unacceptable. And you know, as a society, we don't like to write off people. We try to get them as much help as possible.
We don't, Jade. That's my problem, eh? But go ahead. We don't. I totally disagree with what you just said, but go ahead. I know where you're getting at.
So before this young man turns into a old man, a big grown man, and continues this behavior, let's try and cut it out now.
Horizons. The thing is, for
What
me,
you call it?
horizons.
Okay.
But Jade, let me tell you something. It is.
That's not what I really want to say. But
But on a serious note, Jade, the reason why I'm not even. This, unfortunately for me, is not an isolated case. So yes, this young man, we could decide on what this young man needs, right? What type of response would be adequate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something, Jade. This is not an isolated case. We're seeing this more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about this particular dynamic where you have young men who feel it's okay, for whatever reason, to physically assault women.
Mm-hmm.
It's a failure, Jade. Like we failing, Jade. Like we all failing. I'm sorry. Like, yes, the people have control over their own actions and responses and things, and so they would pay the cost for their consequences. Yes, but when we see these things, not these in an isolated case, and it seems to be happening more and more. As a matter of fact, I go as far as to say that what I have been seeing is it almost, again, I'm not sure if it's just that there's an actual increase, or we just seeing it more because everybody got a camera in their pocket.
I feel like that's the reason.
Part of me don't feel so, because
I do though.
no, I'm saying no. Or both might be true. We might be seeing it more, but there might also be an increase, right? It seems as though people are becoming more and more comfortable with violence being an adequate response to some sort of disagreement, something they don't like. They just want to hit people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start adding in again the power dynamic between, like, in relationships and all these kind of things, that's a whole other thing that makes it even more tragic, the entire situation. Where the men?
You mean the men that
you see like men even talking specifically about any man who cares about this young lady in particular.
No, I know you mean the men in society. The problem is the grown men in society is where the young men in society seeing it from. So who can help who? Who is going to help who as him?
Jade, so we seeing all these every day is almost, you see another video of young girls.
I want people to stop sending me videos.
Of young girls, watch here. Every day seeing these videos of young girls in school fighting. They come out of school and fighting. And I seen a lot of videos of young women fighting, big fight, weapon all kind of thing. And I'm thinking to myself,
what's happening?
What the disagreement is, and why is it so? Why is it that violence seems to be such an acceptable form of conflict resolution lately?
Well, we already spoken about it here many times as him. We need to start to teach kids emotional intelligence. kids don't know how to deal with their emotions. So what they do is see adults deal with their emotions by fighting. So they figure, okay, well, if this is how y'all deal with it, this might be the way that I should deal with it. And they don't know how to control their emotions. So things escalate in a way that everybody now just scrapping. We literally see the other day a child killed another child in Jamaica. People don't know how to deal with their feelings and emotions as them. So everything they just come out.
Emotional intelligence, right? Conflict resolution and critical thinking. Those are things that are sorely missing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things that are sorely missing. Yeah. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Missed that one. I don't know what happened. Everybody just need to zen out. Tension's too high. Everybody feeling a little too, I don't know.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Yes, good morning, Azim. Good morning, Jade.
Morning.
Yes, this burger is straight up talking.
Yes, I.
Yeah, I saw the video and it just terrified my heart, my soul, my whole body shiver. Which watching the video now and talk about it, it's like was a friend taping, I guess it's her friend, in a house first. And the boy make it what am I saying? Make it he vibes now to go at this school, because if you check it out, particular school, what the video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she went in the opposite side of the school now. And the person in there saying, which is a lady, cool, I don't want to get in trouble. So to me, how I see it, how I feel it is, she son, because a little things on WhatsApp was circulating. Which it was she son now. She was to bang up heat in front of she too. Just holding on your youth and saying you want to get in trouble when the man done boxing up the girl's face and them things. And the friend now was just like, to me she was frightened or happy for it, so she had to tear up. Because maybe she couldn't talk with him too. And then just lay it out for people to be aware of what's going on. But that disrespectful from wherever house they were in to reach at the school now to disrespect the little girl as well. And how the man hand them be. You could see he tense. So she gained some hard hand. I mean, what really going on with these youths today? I want everybody hear me. I don't care who's son or whoever. Me ain't want to see that in front of me. I tell you now, straight up, I do not want to see that in front of me. No man beating up on nobody, so especially a little girl. You gotta respect the woman them and respect yourself. Real talk. So it ain't just like, in my family. We gotta get back to our time. The community gotta save community people. Otherwise, everything will go down the drain. We're gonna just watch people kill people and just like, that's it. That's where you come into here.
But that's where you come into. But
yeah, the altercation down on the street Monday, that could have been avoided too. That could have been avoided before any stabbing incident happened. So we just watch things escalate. When things don't happen now, we start to talk our posters and because ain't nobody for you or ain't you or whoever. If we ain't get together as one in St. Kitts and go back like a community gotta be cater for everybody, St. Kitts gone on the jail. I tell you now, you're straight up.
Mm-hmm.
You can just watch somebody dead like a mosquito and then walk off. And then ball when it's V. So we gotta put a stop into it from as a youth born.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, we got to put a stop into it. Enough of the mothers and the fathers, even if I segregate, stop when I connect together even for a little money, and if the lady ain't get the money or he ain't get the money, stop abuse the woman, stop disrespect the woman because what? Maybe she got another boyfriend and all them there. You doing in front of your youth, we're coming up. And then when your youth get bad now, what you're going to say is society, it start from home. Yeah, art them teach my youth, them and more youth used to go convent school and come home with a sweetie plastic, a biscuit plastic in the pocket or in the bag, and then throw it away. And he say teach the two of them, and he say teach them. And today, me saying the guy my youth, they have enough respect in the day in saying it. So you got to teach you from home. And there's enough argument amongst one another in home. You them feeding under and feel like when they go home friends is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I could talk from now till tomorrow morning, so I give somebody else a chance. Give thanks for the show, I love it. Every day listening, never don't call in.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, brothers.
Yes.
Hey, big up Spurs one time. But but Jade, I mean,
going outside getting scarier and scarier, and because you don't know what you have to deal with, you know. Like you don't know who isn't having a good day or whatever reasons y'all have for behaving the way y'all behave. You just don't know what's happening. And it used to be where we used to look at the news and be like, oh, that can't happen here because, you know, that's their kind of society. We don't live like that. But look how we living now.
Monday when I ended this show, that's exactly what I ended the show. Yeah. I said, watch you, don't feel we see these things overseas. And I was thinking about this same situation with the students in Jamaica, you know. That's what I was thinking about when I was making the statement here on the radio, you know. By the afternoon, Jade.
Similar situation.
By the afternoon.
This week let's start. Let's all make the effort to try and be better as of tomorrow. Get it out your system. Pray about it, meditate, do whatever you need to do. But we can't continue to every day come in here and have to talk about somebody dying or being killed or domestic violence. Like, it's not healthy. It is not healthy for us to constantly be consuming this.
Jade, I want to ask you a question about something that Burger said, because this has been a discussion that I've had before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be honest, I've had a change. I've changed my stance over time based on things I would have witnessed. You see how Burger say you see them things there and you can't see yourself standing by. I've been in situations where I have intervened. We have intervened, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was one particular time a guy started out as an argument with a young lady. Actually, the young lady was the antagonizer. The guy seemed to be trying to walk away from the situation, and there was this thing. Keep following him, and thing, right? And eventually, as the guy is walking away, she thumped the guy in his back.
I think you tell us the story already, you know. This the one with the brother?
No.
Oh.
She thumped the guy in his back.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy turned around and you could see he contemplated hitting the girl back and chose to walk away. She hit him again. Well, when she hit him again, that was it. Yeah. Partner made some blows. No, nobody trying to jump in all the time, eh? From the time the fella started hit the girl, all of a sudden, everybody...
Chaos. Yep.
Yeah.
So let's go.
But no, everybody talking, you know. I took up my fasting self. Went over. Me and either of them. I went over and pulled the guy off of the girl. Right? And the guy eventually just kind of walk away and... Yeah. Eventually, some other fellas had come and hold the girl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to always be like, "I'm about to make a man hit upon a woman and just take it, and just like stand by. I pull out my phone and them kind of stripping this there." And so I said, "Boy, you can't behave. Boy, you can't behave."
Don't do that.
That was my position.
Mm-hmm.
And I could say that because it happened I was put in the position and I acted.
Mm-hmm. What's changed?
Yeah, Jade, I see some videos lately. Yeah?
Oh, me?
I don't know how many of you
they're different.
I don't know if you all see these videos lately. domestic issue happening, person walking to go and try assist, and ain't here with us today, to give you side of the story, I've seen several of those videos, and it caused me to pause. There was one situation, Jade, it happened maybe like a month ago in New York. Guy beating up on a girl. Guy walks over to try and intervene. Fellow pull out a gun, shoot him, kill him. The girl jump in the car with the fellow cool and gone.
Yep.
The same girl who he come to defend jump in the car with the fellow.
I mean, maybe she was frightened too, because if I just watch a shooter, man, me
No. Pana ain't call or nothing, Pana, because they had the little altercation.
So
shoot him. And when the fellow jump in, he can't turn off. But she's coming and open the door and gone in.
Call the police.
911.
Call the relevant authorities.
Watch
okay?
I am not pull out your phone, videotape the situation. No, me saying to send it out on social media.
No, but for evidence for the police.
When you call the police, you say, hey, maybe they miss it, but here's what happened. I started videotaping from here. Because
y'all ain't gonna take me from my son trying to save y'all. Y'all are not taking me from
my job
my
is
son.
to get home, Jade. My job is to get home. I'm not knowingly putting anybody that I care about in a position to not get home, including myself.
Including yourself, most importantly.
Jade, I have been forced to change my stance.
Listen, when I was younger, right, when I had some friends that used to fight a lot and stuff, and I used to willingly put myself in the middle of the fight just to stop them, right? Now, as an adult who has thought and seen and, experienced different things, not me, is either I calling the people in grey, I calling the people in camouflage, I calling the people in blue. But I am not playing hero. I will call the police and then they will handle it. Because that's the job. That's what it is for.
Watch your family and loved ones. I understand the risk, and I'll take the risk for family and loved ones. But because Jade, I'm telling you something, you go and you put yourself in these positions, right? And when you done get a shovel, 'cause I've seen that happen too.
When you don't go on a t-shirt.
I done see a man jump into a fight, get a shovel. And well, the same night, the same girl, he went to defend sleeping next to the man okay.
And you up HMP? I mean, JNF.
You up JNF, nursing a head wound.
It's okay. No, thank you.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
All right.
I hope that person wasn't nursing a head wound.
I think we have to move on. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
No, you want to take this one now? Stay quick.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Okay, well, that's a sign that we should do.
Let's move on. Let's go.
Okay, so let's jump over to Jamaica.
Woo!
Yes, of course, there's always action over in Jamaica. This is the least violent of the actions that I've seen from Jamaica. So, an event, 2 prisoners' cell cut out, and cops launch a probe after he escaped.
You get it?
Yeah, man. So, the Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, has ordered the Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau to immediately launch a probe into the circumstances surrounding the escape of Rudolph Shaw from Central Police lockups in Kingston on Thursday. According to the police, preliminary investigations have revealed that Shaw, who has been in police custody since July 27th, was discovered missing from his cell about 6:30 a.m. during inspections. It has also been discovered that an event leading to Shaw's cell had been cut out, the police said on Thursday. Shaw, who the police describe as a long-time staple on the most wanted list.
Consistency is key, Jade.
That literally describe him as a long-time staple on the most wanted list in the divisions of St. Catherine North and St. Catherine South.
So how he can stay on the most wanted list if he in jail? The man got to get back out, get back his status.
I'm telling you.
Eliado.
Well, he was captured in the Cayman Islands on July 8th and subsequently deported to Jamaica.
They captured him after they escaped?
No.
Or this was when they caught him?
Yes. Yes.
Because in the Caymans, is it?
Yeah, man. Chilling. And then they deport him back to Jamaica.
Why they catch him over there? What he was doing?
It's something bad. Obviously something bad. Because you don't just get deported.
Mm.
The 30, you know? He's our age. Well, he's my age. The 30-year-old was then charged with 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of wounding with intent, illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition, and absconding bail.
Okay, that sound pretty intense.
Yeah, man. He was remanded into custody and was awaiting his next court date on October 12th at the time of the escape.
He probably playing prison bingo.
Yeah, man.
Trying to get all the blocks.
He going good.
Yeah, he got a couple of years. He done got 2 murders.
Yeah. Ammunition, guns.
Yeah, now he got an escape.
Yeah.
What he need next? Maybe a last knee.
A last name? A breaking and entering. Yeah.
Bye. This man.
When you hear career criminal, this is what I mean. Before his arrest, he was a person of interest in several incidents of shooting and murders across the parish of... Attempted murder in there somewhere. Literally has him. Attempted murder in there somewhere. And was also listed as wanted in both divisions of the parish. So the man was committing crime anyway he go. True to this. Well, you know, the last part ain't got nothing to do with us unless he catch a boat come here.
On brand.
Yes, somebody saying Biden pardons thousands convicted of marijuana possession under federal law. I saw this yesterday, right? And one comment that stood out to me. At least I really laughed for a good 5 minutes. One lady decided to tweet, yes, a new batch of men about to circulate. Yes, as ever.
Well, good for you guys, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah, man.
Good for you guys.
A new batch of men about to come out into the economy. Fresh, ripe.
For the picking?
Wow. It's only marijuana.
No, but you see, this is the problem I've been having. And this is why when we're having these discussions around marijuana and legality and all of them things, I have never been one for the incarceration of people as it relates to marijuana. But the reasons that is why sometimes when we start talking about like legalizing marijuana, I just kind of back out on certain conversations, because to me it don't even mean like that is outside of the issue for me. The issue for me is if you were to believe that marijuana is somehow detrimental to persons who take it, if you were to believe that, which we know differently, but if you were to believe that, then to me that makes marijuana a public health issue and not a criminal issue. So you can't tell me that you're trying to protect society by locking up all these people, but what you're really doing is taking family members out of the homes, taking men out of the community, leaving children unsupervised, underprovided for, thrusting families into poverty, and trying to tell me that these are the things that are better for society. Like, give me a break.
Bye.
Give me a break.
The people, listen.
Give me a break.
So many times I've sat down and thought about the rules and the laws, and I'm like, how this makes sense?
Whether or not you are a supporter of marijuana legalization, not legalization, but marijuana use or not, whether you support it or don't support it, I do not see how one justifies taking people out of their, like, changing people's lives and their families' lives forever, undermining entire societies because of it. Like, you can't tell me that is the better option.
It is not, Azim. It has never been about that.
Exactly. So, kudos, long overdue.
I wonder if you can trickle down here. All them people who got weed charges on the public records and all of these things. I wonder if those will be wiped.
We need to get them out. But that has been the talk.
I don't want to hear no more talk.
That has been the talk.
Let's do some actions here, please.
That has been the talk. And so we'll see.
Something always a talk. What about actions? What about the actions? How come it never starts with an action?
I mean, you can't really start with action.
What I mean.
I know what you mean, Jade. It's long overdue. Long overdue that we
Yes. What happened?
them people.
She talking about the man in Jamaica.
Oh. If you come here, you can cool, you know.
Yeah.
If you come here, you can cool. But Jade, it is long overdue, Jade. There's people with minor offenses. Minor offenses, man.
Listen.
And when they come up, please to wipe their record, please. Don't tell me I can't get a visa. Don't tell me I got to go declare this when I get in a job and all this. No.
It is literally weed. Okay, so let's start acting like we have some sense and we care about the actual community that y'all say y'all care about. And
no, the war on drugs was a success, you know, just for drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs win. That's what happened. Oh my
Win
God.
bigly to buy. Anyway, let's take a break, thank some sponsors, and come right back with some more conversation right here on Island Tea. Stick and stay, guys. We'll be right back.
Magnum. Take charge. Everybody put your magnum in the air now. From you a drink magnum, let me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot magnum when me have in a me hand there. Here a sip and she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day at the week with a magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink. Drink responsibly.
Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it good. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win $30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for $30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Island Tea right here on Win Media SKN. I'm just trying to build my spirits before we get into any of the other articles.
It's all downhill from here, friend. It is all downhill from here. So let's start with Armageddon, apparently, that is approaching. Yes, so Biden says Putin threats are real and that they could spark a nuclear Armageddon. Lovely.
You know what funny about read the article and then I'll give my.
President Joe Biden said the U.S. is trying to find oh my God, I nearly said something totally out of order just now. But we would have solved the problem long time before the study, you know. Anyway. An off-ramp for Russian President Vladimir Putin and worries his threats to use tactical nuclear weapons are real and could lead to Armageddon. We are trying to figure out what is Putin's off-ramp. Where does he get off? I could say now, when all of us die. If Putin is the only person alive after all of this, he win. Matter of fact, if he loses with half of us, he win.
Let me ask you a question, Jade. You believe Putin is like a maniacal, evil, delusional person? I think he's very strategic and smart and knows exactly what he's doing.
Both can be true. The man literally insane, you know. But
okay, but that's what I'm asking. Do you think he's like insane? I think he's very sane.
I feel like he's insane as him.
I'm starting to believe he's very sane.
As him, the man trying to nuke the world just to get what he wants. That's insanity. The man is willing to kill us. We ain't gonna to do with this, you know. We ain't even what he wants as him.
I mean, Jay, we wouldn't die. We wouldn't die right off the bat. Maybe
yes.
Covered in a cloud of nuclear waste.
No, thank you.
And probably inhale it and maybe grow a few different body parts.
No, thank you. That's not on my bingo card, so I will opt out of that option.
But tell the people what actually happened.
The man tried to kill us.
Okay, so guys, basically what happened recently, there was a development where
this is the thing to do with
they have lost.
submarine.
Yes,
they lose it. Stop saying that.
No, when I said they, I mean the rest of the world don't know where it is.
No.
So the Russians have a submarine that is able to launch nuclear missiles. All of a sudden, it left its dock somewhere up in Antarctica or somewhere about. Somewhere by the North Pole.
You know, he let them cool.
And nobody know where he gone.
No, those say nobody know where he gone.
Yeah. Everybody else don't know where it is, except Putin. And whoever in it.
Why y'all have these people play with these type of things and just chilling? Y'all knew he had this, you know. Y'all knew he had this. This is not a secret because y'all was watching it all the time. Now, in the middle of a war, the most sensitive time, this is when y'all lose it. This is when y'all lose it.
But yeah, the thing just is a submarine, yeah.
It don't matter as them. They have all kind of technologies. They're supposed to be able to track a submarine.
Jade, who knows where this thing is? This thing could be on the ice cap somewhere.
They need to know, as we need to. Everybody needs to know.
Everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know.
I am so frustrated.
Everybody needs to know where the nuke is.
A nuclear weapon the last. A nuclear weapon the last, you know. You know what? We know what a nuclear weapon is, you know. How do you lose one? I don't get it.
Jade, and the thing about it is everybody now just flexing their nuke muscles, yeah. China firing off couple, North Korea just dropping couple, just say, hey, just a test. Sorry about that, just a test.
Listen. Listen.
You know what funny about this?
Nothing.
All these big countries, big supposed to be, you know, they're just playing like, you know, it sound like it's just like a bunch of boys like in the schoolyard and all them say, I mean taking a last lick here.
I tell you, this would have been solved if we had duels as him.
If you had what?
If we had duels.
Oh.
Putin and Zelensky would have just gone to somewhere nice and cold. Do that.
Dole it out.
The backward walk thing. Who shoot first win.
I like the medieval dudes. Like put them on some horses with them.
The javelin thing.
The lances. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I prefer that than the gun thing.
For sure? Okay.
I think he leveled up the playing field a little bit.
Oh.
Zelensky was a comedian, Jade.
Oh yeah, but he gone.
Putin was a Putin was a KGB agent.
Okay, but how does your solution even out anything? This he gonna lose either way as him. He has no experience in no type of combat.
Give him a fighting chance, man.
As him,
I feel you got a better chance. Okay, if I never shoot a gun before, I don't even know how to shoot a gun, and you tell me hold this stick and hit this fellow, I take my chance with that and dealing with the fellow who knows how to shoot the gun.
I think it's a little more complicated than hold this stick and hit
yeah,
this
but again, I'm saying if given the option, Jade, personally, Personally, not only that, I also recognize that I may lose the duel, but I'd rather get hit off my horse with a stick than probably getting a bullet between my eyes.
He ain't talking about this. The ones like
Jousting is what I call it.
Oh, I was thinking about the ones like in Game of Thrones and so when people dying for real, like getting the face bust open and so.
Yeah, that's possible.
Oh, but it's not there. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I see where.
Yeah, I just said it was me.
Yeah.
But the truth is, now that what's happening is the big dogs them, all railing up, and there's nobody.
As ever, what is happening?
Jed, who do you go to? Like for instance, you have Jed, the bold superpowers are.
They're scrabbling.
I mean, let's be honest. They have always maintained these military presence. There's always some war going on. But when you have the big dogs themselves like getting ready to scrap, there's no like we just do is sit on the side and hope for the best. Yeah.
I started to literally feel like Putin is Thanos. He's behaving very Thanos-like right now. I'm not going to lie.
Even the people from his own country trying to get away, dude.
Exactly.
The people from his own country that he trying to institute the draft. People walk out. I ain't gonna fight now. I going to Istanbul. Like, oh my gosh.
You see, we don't assassinate people like we used to, you know. Problem would have been solved a long time, you know.
Jade, Putin ain't an easy man to assassinate you.
I know, but at least try it. Try it.
No, they have.
Try harder. Look at what he's doing, look at what he's doing. They're losing nuclear weapons. He's literally just.
Jade, but this is my question too, and this is why I just feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy in these things. How long Kim Jong been up there just playing with nukes all the time, showing them over? But yeah, they're not aimed at the US, so nobody care.
Not only that.
They're not aimed at the US, so nobody care.
Yeah, that's true.
He over there been telling you. You guys that got nukes are just waiting for a time to use them, yeah.
Not even that he got them. He just been firing them off, showing y'all. No, he bought this thing for
Jade,
you know.
Them man got independence match. Them man got nukes in the match. Like, that's what
the match with the nukes.
The matching with the nukes. And everybody just up there like, wow, that's a crazy guy.
Yeah,
Dennis Rodman gone over there to see what's going on.
But at the end of the day, they walk out. Well, they saying nothing to do with me. He's only the other country next to him. He trying to kill.
But now, talking about America now, so all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah, cause Putin saying, don't feel like it's just Ukraine are coming for, you know. It's all, and what's the NATO thing? He against everybody who are NATO, eh? So.
And NATO was a direct response to the Soviet Union, so I understand that.
So, here are your powers that be, are you big wigs with all the nukes and the money and all of these things? Is all are you against one man? Oh, I want to tell me this man better than all are you?
Jade, I don't know if that's how you really work.
We're going to put it that way so they could feel away.
Well, let's see what this caller has to say. Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
Good morning, sir. And good morning, madam.
Morning.
Carl Brown here. Well, sir, I attended the seminar yesterday. And the seminar was good indeed. We had a full house till people were standing and all. A lot of entrepreneurs turned out to that seminar. And we had people from the banking institution who give, their thoughts and what we must do, how we must go about it, and how we must come to them. And thing. But one thing with the seminar, so the seminar was more for people who already had or have a business, or at least a year or 2 years in business. People like me who want to start up, the seminar was not for me. The highlights and everything of it was, highlighted for me. But the seminar was more for people who are already done in business, who have lost business, who want to come back in business. You have to be already a business person.
Mr. Brown?
Yes?
I understand your plight, right? But we're talking about something completely, totally different to what you're talking about. We're not on the same page, right?
Yeah, you're talking about what? You're talking I'm talking about
Wow.
getting things done.
Oh, my bad.
And moving our country forward. Them up there with the war, they got to deal with that. Because
so you know that war gonna affect us, right?
with those wars.
It's not a their war thing, You do realize that whatever happens between them will affect us.
Yeah, and that is why we need people like us and you all, because we need to be doing our own thing. So when they're up there with the thing would not affect us that much. That is why we need to be self-efficient and pushing and moving our economy forward and stop depending on these big nations. Take my point now. We got to start helping ourselves and stop helping everybody else.
Okay.
And that is what our government and our private sector and everyone else, native and non-native alike, have to be doing for your country, for your nation. Push and move your country forward and upward.
Okay, got you.
And make yourself more self-efficient and stop depending on them up there to plan something or cook something or make something in a factory to help you. Let us go up to them, take their knowledge, the technology, take the knowledge and bring it back home and work it for us and move upwards, onwards, reach to the level and go beyond them.
Gotcha.
Because of what they have taught us.
Gotcha. All right.
Then we won't have to be depending on them to make a sardine, to make a Vienna sausage, to wait for them to plant some apple, some grape and things. We start doing our thing, make we self-sufficient. So when they got a thing up there, they have trouble with because we don't here got we think to help we and help other we neighbors next to us.
I understand all of that. However, I don't know how they're going to save us in a nuclear war. But thank you for your contribution, and I agree with a lot of the things you said. Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah.
Me ain't saying nothing, Jade. Can I tell you? Me ain't saying that thing. I told you. I ain't saying nothing else. You ain't put me in trouble.
Trouble with what? We need some valid points. We need to be
self-efficient.
Yeah. Because we're going to have to make sure this nuclear war. This nuclear war. Yeah.
This person going to stand, Brad, man. Good morning, caller. You're live on ILNT. What's up?
Yeah, brother. Good morning.
Morning.
Nature, man. You're listening in again. We don't see no Russian television down here. We watch all the West television, right? America dropped a bomb in Afghanistan, what they call the mother of all bombs. When they're looking for Bin Laden, penetrate X amount of feet on the ground and walk up under there like an earthquake. Sometimes the thing that we think is earthquake may be coming from them. What happens is that America, why is it America, Israel, and the alliance must have nuclear? So all of them supposed to kill people. They got the most deadly weapons on the earth in that man. That's why you see they telling Putin take it easy because they know what they got. But there must be the world police. Why is it they want to go up there? The man was telling, Putin telling Zelensky, watch here, give the people them their independence and settle everything. You think if Venezuela bring the warship them around here and park them up all in Puerto Rico and St. Croix and St. Thomas, America done like that? Why they forcing NATO to do this thing? Why they spending billions and billions when they still showing us that poor people in Africa hungry? Why Biden them don't just try and ease the one done with this supporting this guy supporting, killing half the people them while America people ain't over there dying? We need to be more realistic, brother. America does a lot of good. They do a lot of evil and bad things as well. The worst bomb we ever hear about is in Japan, who do it? America. America go around the world and they do all kind of evil and test their weapon them all over the place and kill innocent people that we don't know about. Putin is telling them what you leave us, you ain't gonna bring your westernized system here. One of the problems they got with Putin is because he's a hand in the gay and lesbian thing and so deal. Then into that, they're into their own thing. Don't bring the West style over here, stay in the West. I mean, what more you want the guy do? As soon as NATO go there, the man ain't got no backyard. We got to be fair.
So you agree? So you agree with him invading Ukraine, or you don't think he invaded Ukraine?
We must understand what it is between Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine is also a part of Russia, and a lot of people in
No. Hold on. Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union,
right?
Definitely,
And they're independent. They're independent nation now, right?
Yeah, but then there's a lot of provinces who also asking Ukraine to give them their independence because they speak Russian. A lot of them seeing themselves as Russian. And the next thing again, when he said he wants 30,000 soldiers and things, right? America was doing the same thing. They lock up Muhammad Ali because he said he ain't going.
Okay, so you're telling me it's okay for the people of the Ukraine to be killed because of whatever reason?
No, nobody's supposed to kill nobody.
But you just said.
I think we're on the same page then. I don't think nobody absolving U.S. of culpability or somehow suggesting that the U.S. is this righteous nation or whatever.
Definitely not.
What we're talking about though is the fact that we're in a state now where it seems as though we're edging closer and closer to nuclear war.
But it could be stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Biden them need to stop sending the arms, settle the thing, sit down with the people them and work out the thing. But because of how the world dynamic runs, it's forces, we live in forces. Good and bad, powerful forces. The devil is between the earth. You check. So war must come. When we small, the world was peaceful, the world was big. Now the world small become smaller. Everybody got phone, everybody. When we small, we used to sleep together in one bed in a time. We love, we brother and we sister them and so on. Even we neighbors them come and they stay with us overnight. They say making it home, Nowadays, everybody want their own room. The love divided. So once I go in school, I could remember me, for my personal thing. I kiss a girl and she draw time and get 3 times from the head teacher, Mr. Haynes, for that, So in school, when we go in school and you like a girl, even one kiss and you draw, you feel like heaven come. Nowadays, people they want that, they want to bang it the first time. If they ain't get to bang it, they get violent with the ladies. You check. So the world become a more technical kind of thing. Everybody is a technical world, so we need to use technology and settle the thing. Why is it every minute America just sending these ammunition, sending the most deadliest and the most deadliest, and then it's people they're killing? So none of them in there could say, well, we try and done with this thing and stop support the man and let it go together and relax this thing.
We understand, sir, we do understand that America is doing things, but we're saying that everybody else is doing. We literally listed out plenty of countries this morning that has been doing the same things,
No. My issue is that from what you're suggesting is the conflict in the Ukraine in particular. The driving force behind it is America. You're saying?
It's America and NATO.
Okay.
It's clear to see.
No. I understand where you said that. He is trying not to have NATO on his border, right?
Right.
So where the people of Ukraine come into this now?
Where the people of Ukraine come in because of the area. Because remember, if NATO go up there,
So
all the countries
do you believe that Ukraine as an independent nation has the right to form whatever alliances they feel works in their best interest? You think they have that autonomy and that right to do so?
Of course, just like us.
So when they decide to do that, do you believe that it is, let's say righteous for Putin to decide, no, the people you choosing, rightfully so, to interact with and to become a part of? Well, I don't like it. I don't like the decision that you made as an independent nation, and I come in your place.
You know, sometimes.
No, hold on. No.
That's
No, answer that first. You believe that that's a righteous movement? A reaction?
It might look unrighteous.
No. What you believe? No, ask what you believe.
At the same time,
No, what asking is what you believe. Do you believe it's righteous? Yes or no?
I believe that the war should be settled peacefully.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you
done-
for your
and done-
contribution
and done.
today. Honestly, thank you.
I see. This is the problem I have sometime, right? The problem I have sometime is that we are so programmed, right, to be this either or, right? And so sometimes when you say things like, what Putin really doing? People interpret that as support of America or support of the West or support
Definitely
of NATO.
not. Definitely not.
Sometimes they walk out, well, you can't admit that this person is wrong because automatically you're saying that this person is right. It's no. Sometimes everybody could have a point. Sometimes everybody could be wrong. And to be honest, most of the time, the truth is that everybody has their reasons for doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, the reasons might not be the most righteous reason.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like everybody, when we want to talk about the Soviet Union, we ain't got to go back over that history there.
Mm-mm.
We don't have to go back over the history. We don't have to go back over how Stalin starved out the Ukrainians for years and years and years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We just, and Lenny Lloyd is commenting and said it, we are polarized to a fault. So it's like you can't just look at something objectively and say, hey, yeah, maybe both of them wrong. Yeah, and it's like even if it's
How is it so hard to say yes? Putin should not go into people in place because of who they choose to associate with. That's not hard to say.
Yeah, like we just saw again, we saw tribal and polarized is and what happens is it makes it difficult for us to actually have conversations where we could actually see the true, or at least the truest version of what's actually happening. Right? And it's
Shoulder, even if they promised not to join, right? Even if that was the case, even if the president said, you know what, we're not joining, and then they ended up joining, that's not an excuse for them to go over there to kill everybody. That is literally not an excuse for them to go over there and kill everybody. That's literally the
let's bring this home. Let's bring this home a bit, right? Let's bring this home a bit. America did the same thing.
Wrong.
America did the same thing right in the Caribbean. Y'all forget the bear pigs, Cuba. Oh my gosh, how are we gonna have this communist country aligned with Russia and China and is coming right in our backyard, just 2 miles away from our coast. How?
Out of order. Kill him. Wow.
That was wrong for that too.
Big wrong too. Listen.
But I forget Grenada.
Wait there.
Grenada just crossed the water there. Barkerstone hit Grenada.
Yeah, right there.
America went over there too. Because they decide that we ain't like what I doing, and the people are you linking with, and you all decisions as to how to move your country forward. We ain't like that, so we come in.
The problem is the fact that these big countries feel like they have the authority to do these things. Because they're big countries, because they have nuclear weapons.
Military might.
Yeah, that's the issue. It doesn't matter which big country do it. The problem is that they feel like they could do it and they do it. So all them wrong. Everybody wrong.
All them wrong.
But currently, the one that we are currently having to deal with as a threat is Russia. Which is why we're sticking on Russia. Because again, I don't know if that caller understands what nuclear war means. They had a submarine, according to Asim, up in Antarctica Park up. Right? Everybody watching it, everybody no idea. Cool.
Got the capacity to launch nuclear weapons remotely. Because remember this thing could just float around and Lego these nukes.
Yeah. One
That
day,
could wipe out cities,
cities. So St. Kitts would be the equivalent of a city that I could wipe out. We gone. Neve is gone too.
People didn't understand how small it be. Yeah, I realize like Disneyland, Disney World in Florida is like literally just like 2 or 3 square miles smaller than St. Kitts.
Okay. So if I understand math.
Just the resort. Just the resort.
Okay. Therefore, this nuclear swimming machine is able to kill all of us. And it has gone missing. They don't know where it is. It has gone it has gone missing in the middle of a war. And y'all, we're supposed to watch America. Sir, America is not the problem right now. It's part of it, but it's not the big overall problem, okay?
Like, don't get me wrong. I've said here on the show that I believe that one of the issues that we have is NATO itself. NATO was a response to the Soviet Union. Once the Soviet Union was dismantled, I believe that NATO needed to be dismantled, and we shifted to include the countries of the former Soviet Union. But instead, NATO stayed, and you can't tell me that something that was designed and put in place for one particular purpose, all of a sudden just change, and it is something else. And so, yes, I believe former Soviet states, particularly Russia, has a right to watch NATO with a side eye. Yeah, I totally understand.
Listen, I've
been the one who's been like, NATO should have been dismantled once the Berlin Wall came down. But
everybody should watch them with a side eye.
But we're here.
Now. And again, a submarine with nukes is missing. So let's try to find, well, not us, because I don't even know where we look for that.
Just swim over the beach, you see it over there.
No,
fires.
Yeah, may take you over there, man. May take you over Cacashell, Carambola, and none of them. May take you with waters. However, like I watch what do you call them? The videos where you could see, you got porn goggles, and you could see like a real time.
You mean virtual reality thing?
Yes, I watch a reenactment of a nuclear bomb yesterday. Let me tell you something, we don't need none of those. We don't need none of those, okay? So let's act like we got a little sense here and don't act like things happening out in the big world ain't gonna affect us. No matter how much apples and oranges and whatever else you think you could plant, if a nuclear bomb drop, them apples gone, okay? Gone. So let's get real now. Anyway, it's time for us to go. Sandra coming in soon.
Oh yeah, man. It's Friday and it's 10 o'clock. Anyway, guys, we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disappear. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation this morning. And yeah, still calling by.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to save that thought until Monday because we're leaving. No.
Well, yeah, we gotta go. But guys, appreciate you for being a part of the conversation today, whether you joined us on Facebook, YouTube, winmediascan.com or any of the other digital media platforms. Big up yourself. Appreciate you so much. All the commenters online. Boom bam. Those of you listening on the radio, 98.9 FM, thank you so much for turning it up loud and sticking with us this morning. And for those of you who may have missed some of the conversation, yeah, man, you could go check us out. We're still on Facebook. We're still on YouTube. Just go type in Win Media SKN or type in Island T.
Indeed.
And the date. And yeah, man, you're gonna pop right up. It's going to pop right up. So you could go back and listen to exactly what was said and all of that. But yeah, the callers, big up yourself one time. Of course, we love the interaction. Thank you for being a part of the show. And we look forward to it. But it's time to say goodbye.
Yes.
It's so hard. Anyway.
To say goodbye.
To Island T.
Yes.
But guys, please remember, guys, learn from the losses of others. We've been seeing a lot lately. We don't want any repeats.
Let next week be peaceful.
Yes, please. Yes. This weekend. We need to talk about next week. The weekend. Let's just get you the weekend smooth, man.
And then back next week.
No. We could possibly keep it going, keep that momentum.
Oh, somebody asking for Sippers t-shirts. You could go to what's Gavin's business called? Digital Print Plus. Yes. Yeah. They can print a shirt for you, so Just go over there, hit him up, tell him that you want an island t-shirt, and he'll sort you out.
Nice. And yeah, guys, please also remember to spend more time living your content than posting it. There's been a lot of posts going around. Some I need to cool. Talking specifically to the bandman them. Yeah, I need to chill out a bit.
No, I love a good band, why? And right now is the perfect time because we're going into carnival season. Rile up the revelers. Yes. Well, who beefing now?
Man, no, I just want to know if Sugar Bowl am on the road.
Man, watch your bank clash, Sugar Bowl versus mention. And I shall be right in the center because I want to hear and I want to see. I don't want nobody to tell me about it.
You don't want anybody to tell you about it?
And then we're going to have a Molly versus Grandmasters clash right there to the top of Watch.
That one I'm jiggy.
Yeah, man.
And not only that, guys, in terms of posting your content and thing, you don't want to be posted either. So for those who think it best to take things that don't belong to them.
Yes, it's me saying, you know?
No, but I saw it. For those who,
I go in jail for a reason.
Watch here, right? For those of you who, please. We just talk about the fact that there's cameras everywhere. Please be reminded.
Pana, clean up the shelf, man. Pana, clean up the shelf.
Please be reminded that there are cameras everywhere. Everything is on camera. Just bear that in mind, guys. But guys, yes, and of course, remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Gonna see you guys on Monday.